Okay, so just after finishing the second session there with the MGL for the skills acquisition, similar to last week, we had 3 coaches, so we arrived within plenty of time to set up our drills before the players got out onto the pitch. We were ready to set up at the pitch about 20 minutes beforehand, just so the players weren't waiting around when we got out. We broke the session down into kind of 2 main areas, so we had our running segment and then our football segment. So in the running segment, what we did was the B series, and then we did acceleration and deceleration. So in the B series, we just kind of followed on from the A series, getting the correct mechanics for all the players, making sure that they're running nice and efficiently and not exerting any extra energy that they should be. Then we went on to acceleration and deceleration, and we decided this was quite important because given that it's a female academy, the risk of ACL injuries is a lot higher than it would be with male academies. So we just want to get the body kind of ready for that and prepped. So we're kind of preventing injury on that one. Again, we want to teach them how to accelerate and decelerate efficiently, so we're not kind of going to cause injury, and we can just do it more efficiently so we're ready to take it into a match situation. For the football block, again, we used 2 skills. So each of the skills that we used was kind of 2 or 3 skills put together. So we had introduced them in the last session. So the first skill that we did was a pirouette into a step over and then a driven shot. So this is linked into the Fat Ronaldo. So what we did initially was take a step over, or take a pirouette, then go into a step over, and then the driven shot. So it was 3 elements, and then we pieced them together. So it was a pirouette, then a step over, then a pirouette, a step over, and a driven shot. Some of the feedback from the players on that was that they could use the pirouette and the step over in isolation, as well as that instead of having the driven shot at the end, that the players could use the space created to make a pass, which was quite good. So they're using their own initiative on that, which was very good to see. The second bit of football skill that we used was similar to what Barcelona do a lot. So it's a body feint with some quick feet and then an outside of the foot pass. So similar to the Fat Ronaldo, what we did there was break it down into different elements. So the body feint was done kind of coming with a ball up around the cone first. Then we went into a little bit of kind of player evasion. So you come up, try and challenge a player and do your little body feint. Then we linked that again back into the quick feet. So the quick feet was done similar as well. So you throw in the body feint, then the quick feet, and piece the 2 of them together, up around the cone and then up around an opposition as well. Very similar to the Fat Ronaldo skill with the step over and the driven shot and the pirouette. The players were noticing that they could, instead of using the outside of the foot pass, use different types of passes, or even use that space created to take a shot, which was good feedback from them as well. So in terms of the entire session, I thought it went quite well, and we were able to manage the group really well because again we had the 3 coaches, so we had kind of more contact time with each athlete, which was good. For the likes of moving forward again, I'd probably like to introduce a little bit more of like a real match situation. So when the player is coming up to an opposition player, that they actually have to use the skill. So that is going to be something that we're going to bring in going forward because we've only covered 2 skills now. So it was a little bit predictable, but again, moving forward, that's kind of what we're going to have to do.